A leading New Zealand politician believes Australia's voice referendum defeat could pave the way for a vote to rework his nation's treaty with Māori. David Seymour says the referendum result proves people don't want race-based rights as he pushes ahead with his controversial plan to redefine New Zealand's treaty. Here's our correspondent Jack Nyhoff, who sat down with the ACT Party leader.
Unlike Australia, New Zealand has a historic treaty that Māori tribes signed with the British Crown. It's designed to give them a specific say in politics and policy. But after more than 180 years, some treaty rights could be scrapped if New Zealand's ACT Party gets its way. Their bill hasn't even been drafted yet and doesn't have the support of the Prime Minister past its first reading, but it's already sparked fierce debate and protest across the country.
At the moment, in all areas of life, New Zealanders find that we are divided by race on the basis, under the auspices of our constitutional document. Because the Treaty of Waitangi is interpreted as having principles that mean there's a partnership between the Crown and Māori, but not anyone else, we have effectively two sets of political rights in New Zealand.
ACT Party leader David Seymour is worried about how the courts have interpreted the treaty.
We had laws that said that you would get a disproportional influence on the election of your local council if you were Māori, because there would be special Māori wards that did not have the same number of people as the other wards, but they both got to elect one councillor, if that makes sense. If you look at the way that many public entities were proposed to be co-governed, Māori is 17% of the population, non-Māori the other 83%, but the governance arrangements were 50-50. That's that idea of the treaty being a partnership. That's why we've got to change these principles. It's fundamentally incompatible with democracy.
Green Party co-leader Marama Davidson rejects Seymour's view New Zealand has two sets of rights.
That is quite a harmful dog whistle to racism that David is appealing to.
Is this bill doomed to fail?
No, because the number one thing that decides whether bills succeed in a democracy is the will of the people of New Zealand. And while there has not been a lot of polling on this idea, one recent poll showed 60% of New Zealanders agree with the basic ideas in the bill, 18% oppose it. Now, that's a far more powerful force than what any politician says a year before they actually have to decide.
Unless New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon backs the bill, it won't pass Parliament.
Do you think National will change its mind then?
Well, you know, there's an old saying that when you've got them by the polls, their heart and their mind will follow. I think it's much more likely that we'll have the same result as the Australian voice referendum. Just as the voice was a vote for universal humanity and common human rights, I believe that the debate over what our treaty means will come out on the same side and actually the right side of history.
This is quite a nasty attempt to whistle to racism and ignorance, and this country, thankfully, I believe, knows better.
Jack Nyhoff, Sky News, Wellington.